Wait, should I have your Discord stream open the entire time?
You will later, but not right now.
That's where we're gonna hear the music through Zomni's Discord stream.
Where we also get to see it crash live.
It seems
Maybe
to
it
be a
won't crash this
recurring
time.
theme.
It happens every time.
Without fail!
Nah, it won't happen this time, for real. For real, for real.
This is my revenge, I'll take us to the end.
Hello? Hello? Are we alive?
Hello.
Hello.
Heyo! Hello, everybody! Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Terran Charts, where we listen and analyze songs we love from a lot of games, especially Arknights. My name is Giri. I'm your host. I'm here today with Hanyu.
Yes, that is me.
I'm also here today with Zopni and our special guest today, Eha.
But yeah, I'm Aha. I do Arknights on YouTube. Not that you would know, because I haven't uploaded anything in like 2 months. But I do that, so you probably know from there. I do stream sometimes, but I don't take it seriously, honestly. Don't tell them I said that. But yeah, I'm here to give my very unprofessional and cringe opinion about things. So thanks for having me on.
Sir, it's what we do. I mean, what? Huh?
Which one, the cringe part or?
The what now?
Are you guys unprofessional or are you cringe?
Unprofessionally cringe.
We rate the songs from 1 to 6. 1 is the lowest, 6 is the highest. We discuss about the song itself, I suppose. Right? That's what we do, right? It's our first time in the podcast.
That is what we do.
yeah, it's our first time in the podcast. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, surely. Anyways, I guess we shouldn't wait any further. Let's move on to our first song, Crystallize.
It's that time again. Let's go.
Yeah.
Get your peanuts ready.
Huh? And that is Crystallize, sang by Inori Minase. Arkedo was JPVA, actually.
The song about Los Montes, sung by the
Montes.
Arkedo voice actor. Lol.
If there's anything to take away from this song, is that they blessed us with the best Rosmontes looping animation ever. Wait, who voiced Cheetos? Who voiced Rosmontes again, Zop? Who do you remember?
I'm actually not that familiar with a lot of voice actors. Like the one that I'm most familiar with is Asami Imai, which is Lapland's voice actor.
I knew it. Of course it would be.
That's the only one I care about.
Yeah.
But yeah. Who else would you know? You don't even know Swires?
Nope.
Quick, who is Granny's voice actor?
I don't know. Which one? The JP one?
I don't know any of
All
them.
of them.
All of them.
I mean, whatever you answered, I wouldn't know anyway, so it doesn't matter.
So the Japanese Rosemontes VA is Ogura Yui.
Ooh. Oh, I see.
Any other
What? Really?
characters that we're familiar with?
Ogura Yui
Huh?
also plays Rosemontes in the anime. If you didn't know.
Wait, am I
I
supposed to be
think
shocked?
almost all
What
of
are you
them.
expecting from me? Oh my god, the voice actor from the game is the same voice actor in the anime! No way! What?
It's one of the cutest songs I've heard from Arknights. There's a lot of cute songs in Arknights, right? I remember the song, but I don't remember the title. Na, 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 na. Into the skies. Guys, Crystallize. I love Crystallize. I love Rosmontes. What's there to say? I'll give it a.
Do you say 5?
Deadass. I don't know. I mean, it's a cute song.
What
It's a
do
nice
you
song.
feel like if you close your
let-
eyes and you?
Let's recap here. So this was from the
Okay.
second verse. This
Yeah.
was
Wait,
the
we
Eden verse.
rated this song before,
Yeah.
right?
We did. This is
Oh
a
shit!
Am I rating next? Let's see.
What did 9 months Zopni say about this song?
A-.
An A-. Would you go like Hanyu, or he just Bumps it up a little bit higher.
No, I'm not. I'm fine.
He stay. He stays.
Yeah, I'm staying. It's a 5. It's definitely a cute song, and I do like. It's something that's upbeat and happy that I like to listen to. But that's pretty much where it ends. It's a great song, and it's sung really well too.
I agree.
Though it is Cheeto's VA, but she still did it super well. And then this music video is actually adorable. And like the more that I've been listening to like a lot of these songs, the more like how the one time Hanyu said that like, oh yeah, you know, like Japanese voice actors have a lot of personality in the song or whatever.
It's very expressionate. And
Yeah,
it's-
there it
and-
is.
And that really comes out in their lyric writing as well. Because like if you translate a lot of like Japanese songs, like it tends to like be almost like a story, that just runs with it. You don't like you sometimes get that with English songs, or maybe I even say like American songs. Sometimes you get it, but in a lot of cases, I think it just ends up being like whatever sounds the best, but also keeps it like vague enough to be like relatable in some sort of sense. So it's a little bit more vague over here, versus like the specific specificity of what they talk about on the JP side.
The more I've been listening to it, I'm like, oh yeah, you know, that actually makes a lot of sense, and I can definitely appreciate a lot of Japanese singers, especially if they're voice actors too. Like that's some real talent right there. So my hat's off to them. So yeah.
I think when they go to like VA school, they actually did you say you just changed it to a 6?
Oh, sorry, 5. I was writing something that involved the 6, and so my head.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that's kind of I don't know, man. It sounded like you wanted to give it a 6, but you wanted to downplay it.
Stick to your guns.
Speak to my gut.
He wants to stick.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm gonna
gut
keep it to
instinct.
like how my A- was. So yeah.
How about you, Eha? What do you say about this song? Do you like Rosmontes? Did you build your Rosmontes? Did you eat to her?
There's only one
Mastery
right answer.
her? Module her? Give her love? Give her
I
cat
think
food?
I will refrain from answering that question.
Ouch.
I will refrain from that. There may or may not be a video on my YouTube channel about that, but we can move past that because no one needs to know, right? I will admit to you that the first time I heard this was like a week ago when you guys sent this to
Wait.
me and said this is what we're reviewing. I heard this a week ago.
No way.
For the first time. It is one of those songs that like here's a random song that we made with this person, right? So I didn't actually know this existed. And I will admit to you that I didn't really enjoy it that much. I'm not into this kind of music that much. But then a couple days later, I was like humming it to myself in like the shower, and I was like, "What is wrong with me? Like, what is going on here?" And it was just in my head. I was like, what happened to me? Like, it's not like I've been listening to it on repeat or anything. But yeah, I don't really know what it is. So I looked into it, and I still don't know what it is. It's just catchy. It's not like the lyrics. I don't find the lyrics to be particularly like eye-opening or anything. It's just a nice song that I'm just jamming to now. And I was gonna give it a 4, but I think just for the fact that it's just stuck in my head now, I think I have to give it a 5. It's
Right? Get it out!
it's just
Get it
one
out!
of these like it's like, do I actually like this kind of music? I don't know. Maybe it's just this song particularly that I like. But yeah, it's kind of strange.
Maybe if you roll hard enough, you'll end up with a pot 3 Rosmontes.
Or maybe you just really like Rosmontes, right?
Yeah,
But
maybe I
let's put
really
aside
like
the
Rosmontes.
fact that you haven't built her, but you haven't built her because you're keeping her the way that you got her in pristine condition.
Yeah, mint condition Rosmontes, right?
Mint condition.
Mint condition
see,
Rosmontes.
Rosmontes is a child, and I do not want to send her out into the battlefield. So I'm just keeping
Exactly.
her in the safety of Rhodes Island, right? So I'm just a good father. That's all it is. Okay.
Eha says this as he plays like a niche of operators with 155 centimeters in height. I think it is time to move on. Let's move on to our next song, Mortal Eye. Hit it, Zopni. Hit it, DJ.
Mortal Eye. Did you know that Typhon is 155 centimeters tall?
I didn't.
That's what this episode's gonna be about.
5-2.
Whisper the names of your enemies. There's a darker cloud than what you've left inside, growing like the winter wind. I can bear your weight, your words and selfish pride. You will not escape this sin. This is my revenge. I'll take us to the end. You can watch beneath my skin. Fear is just a smoke screen. Heat is still my friend. I will use the burn to win.
That is Mortal Eye, composed by Adam Goatman, let's go, and Christine House, performed by Bonzi, the leitmotif of Typhon.
Not to be confused with Teflon.
Teflon? What's Teflon? Is that an ISP? That sounds like an ISP name.
No, it's a type of plastic.
Yeah.
It's a plastic.
It's
Well,
a plastic. It's like
made out of
your like
fluorine.
food containers.
Yeah.
I thought it was
Well,
a type
it's not
of tape.
wrong because the quality of ISPs are plastic.
Why is her hair longer than her body? Isn't that
There are
annoying?
a
How
lot of
does-
things that are longer than Typhon's body. I think
Wait, what?
Typhon probably has like the highest weapon size to body size ratio in all of Arknights.
Is Teflon shorter than?
What? All right.
What is it?
What is a
Is
Teflon?
Teflon?
I forgot the sarcasm hater person's name. It starts with a T. I didn't want to say it the other way because.
Toddyfon.
Toddyfons, thank you. I didn't want to say it the other way.
Oh yes, my favorite sarcasm, Teflon.
I'm sorry, but I've only remembered that the one way. It's not my
Alright,
fault.
we got-
That's how it was taught to me.
Why does Fawn have a scope on her bow?
So she can
look
aim
through it.
better.
Why?
what scopes
no,
are
you
for.
don't need a.
Yeah. Haven't you played Apex? What's wrong with you?
She's a sniper.
You don't put. Wait. You could put a 4x scope on Apex.
Yeah, you.
This is a song that the thing that jumps out to me immediately is that chorus in its very strange time signature. I don't exactly know what it is because I haven't like written it down. It's something in the realm of like 6/4, 7/4, like repeating. But there's also some cut-offs here and there. It's very strange, but I like it. I like that kind of lopsided feel of something that's it's almost familiar, but it's also not, and I like that a lot. I think overall this kind of music is not the kind I would listen to all the time. When it comes to Arknights, I'll make an exception for anything pretty much, but I'm not going to go out and look for this kind of stuff to listen to, mainly because I just haven't been really exposed to enough of this. I don't even know where you would find this. I don't know what kind of music this is. I don't know where to even start with that. Do I think that it really fits Typhon as a character? Kind of, but like the things that I think about Typhon is, oh, she has a gigantic bow. Okay, cool. And then I just leave and I don't have to think about it ever again. I have no idea what I would rate this though, because part of me can appreciate that, but part of me is like, I'm not going to listen to this very often. And I haven't been humming this in my head in the shower as well. So that's kind of like automatically deducting a point, I feel.
I vibe to Mortal Eye, but not like I don't seek out Mortal Eye. It only comes when like it played on my playlist. Oh, someone decided that they want to listen to it on my song request today. It finds me, and I was like, oh yeah, this sounds good, but I don't look for it.
Basically, the times where I listen to this may not always be consensual. Being a streamer, I think you just sign up for that, where it's like sometimes you're just gonna see and hear things that you don't really feel like listening to. You guys don't do halves, do you? You're just like, give me a whole number and that's it, right?
Yep.
Yeah, we talk about this like, oh, I would love to give this a 4.5, but you know.
Yeah, exactly. I would love to give it a 4.5 because it's kind of like in that direction where like I have a very positive feeling towards this song, but it's not like I don't think it's like a banger. I think I will err on the side of 5 because I do like Typhon. I do like the aesthetic of the song as well. Like, I mean, I love Sami, just generally. I love that cold, frigid aesthetic very much. And I think this song does kind of feel like something you would be listening to up there. So yeah, I liked it. So I think I'd give it a 5.
I guess I'm the different one. This is like one of the songs that I go out of my way to like listen to. Remember like Rekindle, for example, how it was a different singer for that one, but it's pretty much in the same realm where the type of song and the way that they sing, especially with the chorus, it vibes with what I like a lot. This song is very calming for me. This gets me into like that calm vibe sort of thing, but it still has that in the lyrics, it has that type of prepping for a way into battle sort of thing. Especially when she says that, like, I'm not your enemy. I'm just like, oh. I agree with Aya in terms of, like, how it's kind of, like, lopsided. The vibe that I get from this especially also reminds me of Requiem in a way. I'm not sure, it's not because of the music video, but just that type of vibe where it's just, like, kind of, like, almost reminiscing in a way. So, but this is a banger in my opinion, and I'm gonna give it a 6.
So this is something that we haven't seen before. So it's actually part of a genre called Japanese VGM. It's a subgenre, by the way. Japanese VGM. VGM stands for video game music, and obviously it's associated with video games. And the parent genre is electronic,
This is electronic?
probably makes sense. I don't know where else to put this aside from ballad, but since Japanese VGM is like a real subgenre, it fits perfectly there. I think that lopsided feeling you guys were feeling, it sounds like it's almost on triplets that they're singing on, so it's a little bit of a syncopated triplet. That should stand out to most people just because it's not standard. That's probably one of the highlights of this one, because syncopated singing I think is really hard. Staying on the offbeats is always been weird for people that have played piano before. Playing different rhythms for each hand, that's basically syncopation. A lot of like background and backing vocals in this, so I like that a lot. And I might be reading a little bit too much into this, but they do mention like a mockingbird at the very beginning in the lyrics, so I think a lot of like the initial backing vocals, that's all like it's to like help portray and mimic the mockingbird, because the mockingbirds, they like mimic other sounds and stuff like that. But they also use a lot of like layers for the vocals. Like I heard at least minimum 3, so it's the lead vocal, the low harmony, and then the high harmony to like give support. I think it's like done very well. It's like mixed very well. It's nice and clear. Definitely not my genre of music to listen to as well, but I'll give it a 5 because I think this is a very like well produced song.
Honestly, I'm just gonna say it's a 5 as well, because like it's just for the same reasons that the songs like it's just great to hear. I love Typhon too. I actually all of the operators so far this year in Arknights, except for the first one, except for the limited. I think all of the operators so far this year are honestly great bangers.
You know what the scariest thing about Typhon is for me? She's like a huntress from like the ice fields, right? It's like Sami is like a very northern region. It's very cold. There's ice, there's snow. She's like wandering in the forest basically. How does she do all that when she's wearing like platform shoes?
I have an answer, and it's lore friendly. Arts. There we go. We solved it, guys. Why does all of our operators? Why does all of our operators fight in high heels? Arts. Oh my god, I knew it. I knew it.
We're brilliant. Good job, boys. We solved it.
On to the next.
Can you say the name in Chinese?
Hold on. Let me run that on the translator. And that is Yongchao Jizo.
A valiant effort.
You know, the best part about this is that Mustima's gonna be the editor.
He's gonna kill
Mustima
me.
can confirm if you're right or not.
This is Surging Tide from Contingency Contract 9 Deepness. I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember hearing this. You know why?
Don't you play with music off?
Yeah.
No, here it is. Every time a new CC comes, turn on music. Oh my god, guys, main music, super banger. Turn off, song request on.
Yeah. So I was partially right.
Wasn't this one not even like the main song? Because it was Deepness. That was the main CC9 song, right? Like this one plays during the stage,
that was the main.
right?
This is the battle song.
This is the battle
music.
song. So you definitely didn't hear it because you had song requests on by then.
I think the song itself though is like, ooh yeah, this feels off because the event this is based off, it's Undertides, right? This feel the music of this the music, yeah, it's Undertides, right? This combat music feels so much more different than the event music of that corresponding event. And when I hear this, I was like, is this really from Deepness? I obviously I don't I had my music off when I played this event, but it's like when I hear this now without the map in the background, I was like, really, this came from Deepness. I find it hard to believe.
Interesting.
I feel
think
like
the opposite. I think this is very fitting.
I feel like this fits like, something like that would come out of an Emperor Blade map or Chapter 7. Not Salviento.
I think I'm also on Goody's side for this one. It didn't particularly strike me as a Undertides like feeling.
Right? You get me, right? Like all of the like the deepness music, like oh yeah, we in the deep sea, boys. The Undertides music, like ooh, the boss music, even like Stiltifera Navis, like hit that mark too. Like this is Seaborn. We are balling. Even the new one, actually.
I guess in my situation, I'm like attaching this to First to Talk rather than to Undertides.
Other than the That makes sense. This is more like a First to Talk theme song than like an Undertides event song, which makes a little bit more sense, I suppose. As he casts a cross you die now skill, yeah. But I guess I would give this song I'll give it a 4. I think it's a 4. I don't think it's bad. I think it's like pretty high, pretty upbeat, but I think it like missed the Undertides being correlated to Undertides, for me at least. But it's fine.
So I like the parts that I can attach to Undertides. It still embodies like this eerie, intense feeling, especially at the beginning in certain parts. But I think the part that loses me is when the brass starts coming in, like trumpets, trombones, and stuff, because then it gets a little bit like more like upbeat. I don't want to say happy, but it definitely like changes the tone and the mood. We always attach Undertides with this more like somber tone, somber feeling, a little bit of dread, something like creepy or eerie. This was definitely different for what was portraying. So I think there's definitely like moving towards that, what Zop was talking about, where it's like probably more towards the First to Talk, but I also know like nothing about the First to Talk.
He's just a funny guy who just runs up to you and becomes invulnerable as he kills everybody.
he just runs up to you and does things.
Look, it's your damage window. What's that?
I don't know if you heard it, but the part that I can attach to Undertides again is they have the iconic bell that you hear in I Believe in Us. The church bell is in the song. It's somewhere. I forgot the timestamp. But the thing that I feel is that's like off base is like as I'm listening to this, especially when it gets to that like the brass section, like we're listening to like right now, I feel like I could more fittingly see this in like a Super Smash Bros. Character compilation video, unironically. Like, just think about and then you just have like Mario and like Link fighting it out or something. Like, oh, like it unironically just fits so well for like how upbeat it is. Ever since I imagined, I just can't unimagine it. I can't even think of like First to Talk anymore. I think I'd also agree with 4. Like, I think it's a well put together song, but I just can't really like picture it in the sense of like it being made specifically for or relating it to Undertides. But other than that, I think it's a very like nicely composed orchestral. Like I definitely do dig the melody, but it's just I have the parts that I just can't relate it back.
So one of the things that like I'm not entirely too certain about, so the drums, these are not like actual live drums, correct?
I believe so. It's hard to tell. Sometimes these plugins for virtual instruments, they can sound really realistic because a lot of them use like real sampled sounds. Like I have one. It's called like Tokyo Scoring Drums, and it is the most realistic sounding thing ever. because they've actually took a microphone up to like these specific drum sets and recorded all the sounds at different like velocities and everything, which is why like there's like so many different like sound files. But the reason why I say it's probably more than likely electronic because it's composed and probably it says performed by the single person. Otherwise, perform might be say like some sort of like orchestra or something. I don't know if they did that for the Capcom sound team. I think the Capcom sound team back in the Palico charts, it actually did say Capcom sound team. Yeah. I mean, so I think it's all it's all it's sound music. You make recording. It's sound music. It's all in the mix and your understanding of how it's like.
Well, since Hanyu took all of my feedback time, I'm just gonna do a 4 and provide no other context. Ask one question and he spends 5 minutes explaining it. I literally just got mansplained.
Dude, this is not my fault.
Yep. Yeah, that's why I'm not my fault. Yep.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, this song, I think I am sitting on the side with Goody and Hanyu, where I just don't really feel like this fits the Seaborn aesthetic. I can kind of see that this is maybe less of a theme of, like, the Seaborn themselves and more of a theme of Abyssal Hunters going to fight the Seaborn. When it came out on CN, however long ago that was, must have been like 2 years at this point, year and a half. I immediately thought this sounds like Pokemon music. And I don't know if that's like offensive to people who make music to say that their stuff sounds like Pokemon music, but it does to me. Like every time I hear this, I can think of like just that old school Pokemon battle screen coming in at the very beginning and it just going off. That being said, is it like a good song? I do think it's a good song. I will vibe to this. I will admit that I am a bit biased because I like CC music generally. I think there's only 2 pieces of music from CC that I actively don't like very much. So this is definitely in that like positive, on the positive end of the spectrum. So I can't give this a 4, but I also can't be the person that just gives 5s for everything, can I? Is that allowed if I just give a 5 for everything?
Go ahead.
It's allowed.
It's allowed.
It's allowed, but is it like...
You could give it a
sus?
1. You could give it a...
You can give it whatever rating you want.
you could praise a song for all of its worth and then give it a 1.
This is another case where I would give this a 4.5 if I could, but I really don't like this. I guess I also have a lot of PTSD from the actual map itself. That map was pretty awful. And I had to use Catapult for that map, which was, you know, kind of a no-go. I'm gonna give it a 4, I think, then. Maybe a bit of that is beyond the song itself, but I also think a lot of the criticism you get from it is pretty warranted of, like, it doesn't fit very well. It's a good song, though.
Alright, we're moving on to the next one. Ensheath. Hit it up.
I raise my sword as a shield. Harden my soul into steel. My sword may shatter and explode like daggers. Only they'll ricochet right back at you like pouring rain.
That was Ensheath, leitmotif for Minar, performed by Obadiah Brownbeach and composed by Robert Wolf and David Lynn.
It's actually interesting that the singer here is Obadiah Brownbeach.
Oh,
Yeah, normally
really?
we see it the other way around because
Yeah.
Obadiah Brown
where
Beach,
they composed it, yeah.
That's actually pretty impressive that he also does the singing as well. I guess it's because he has a baritone voice, and so like it's understandable. There's not many of Arknights songs that I can personally sing because of how deep my voice is, but this is definitely one of them that I can as well. I'll just go ahead and start it here. Like, this is peak. Call it bias if you want, but I am a big fan of like these baritone songs. We don't get too many of them. I think it's like composed really well too, and then just even the lyrics itself sounds awesome. Now I just have to look just as beautiful as Milnar. I don't get a jawline like that.
I find it a little odd that his art style looks different than his like operator art in this MV. Like Tifon's earlier, right? It's like, yeah, that's Tifon. But like this one's like, ugh, I hate life. I work a 9 to 5 job 6 days a week.
That is
You can see
exactly
it.
Winner. That is exactly who he is. He's like, I hate this.
When you get into that adult life, it's like, oh my god, I hate everything. I am a corporate wage slave. I work a 9 to 5 job. I don't get paid enough for my overtime. I work 6 days a week. The lyrics of the song itself sells that fact even further. Right? It's like all for naught. Is there use for fighting on? Is it worth anything anymore, guys?
The man just doesn't get
should we
paid enough.
actually like he wasn't like that before, right? I once had a fight over Radiant Knight before I learned that justice may never exist. So
Youth is a wonderful
let's,
thing, and then you just end up in this whole system of just constant repetitive monotony.
I'm pretty sure that I was like fresh out of the womb and I already had like bags under my eyes. It's like nothing new.
I feel like this song isn't that much up my alley normally, but like this hits too hard. But is it really a perfect score for me? Honestly, I would probably just give it a 5 out of 6. If it's a 5.5, maybe I can stretch it that far, but I'll give it a 5 for myself.
You guys keep asking for these half ratings, and I'm gonna go ahead and tell you right now it's not gonna happen.
I think this one is probably the one I have like the most like notes on, just because it's so different from what I was like originally expecting. I'm so used to seeing Obadiah Brown Beach as the composer rather than the performer.
Yeah.
So that alone was kind of eye-opening, because now I can put a face to the voice,
And it
now I'm
looks
just
like
oh,
Milnar.
man. Yeah. I could put a face to the voice and I just see bags.
I need someone to Photoshop Milnar's hair on Obadiah Brown Beach profile picture.
Please, that would be beautiful. Back to the song analytics, what they do differently here is the song structure is a little bit different from our standard pop songs. I don't know where this song fits in genre wise. Maybe like a ballad. I can kind of see it being like a ballad.
Yeah, it's definitely not pop.
The song structure that I got from it was like intro, verse, chorus, verse, breakdown, chorus, verse, breakdown, chorus. I called it breakdown instead of bridge because it kind of happens twice. The only difference between the two breakdowns was like one of them had lyrics and the other one was just like instrumental. Like the one we're listening to right now is the second breakdown. So that one was definitely a pretty unique song structure. I initially did find it a little bit hard to decipher which part was the chorus when I was first listening to it, because I actually thought it was the pre-chorus, mainly because like I'm so used to listening to the music where the chorus like hits a little bit harder. It kind of like falls into the category for me of I kind of was hoping to hear it hit a little bit harder on the chorus, but it definitely does work with all the different layers and how they mix Obadiah Brown Beach's like voice. I think that the way that they mixed it ended up like really good for like putting his voice out there, because what they did was they really did make his voice the centerpiece in this, which it should be for how slow and how somber dramatic of a song it is. His voice should be centered, and that's what they've done. And then there's like a little bit of like my personal bias as like if I was the one mixing it. One thing I wanna like try hearing is in the chorus if he just sung it a little bit higher to almost like a raspier to get a little bit of grit in his voice. From what I'm hearing from Obadiah Brown Beach's voice, I think some grit would make his voice sound like pretty gnarly. Like it doesn't need to be as gritty as like Alan Day, because that's just like full screaming, but just a little bit, and I think that would really add even more color than it already is, because the vocals in its own, you have to do more than that, like especially to like the instrumentals to make it match, because otherwise, because right now it matches. I would say that right now the chorus bit matches, but if you change that to what I was just talking about, it won't match anymore. So you have to like do more.
I think the whole purpose is not to be colorful here, but just
Yeah.
to be kind of like muted in a way. Like you can look at the color palette itself in the
Yeah,
music video, how it's
and-
very just dark. Like
Yeah,
even his
and I
even his
think-
shirt is a dark blue, and he's wearing a
that
black
might
suit.
actually be the goal here, to kind of like portray the dread, and that might actually be the whole thing behind it. And I could actually get behind that logic. So it's hard for me to give this one a rating. I think I'm like sitting at like, I'll give it a 6. I think this is a very well composed song for the entire purpose. Like I think they've done a good job from lyrics to instrumentation, singing, and mixing wise to portray all of that. So I think it all comes together nicely.
I will start this by saying that I am biased for this because I love Moina as a character, and like I'm
not as a
I'm
unit,
like,
not as a unit.
yeah, as an operator, questionable. But we won't get
What do you
into
mean?
that,
He's
'cause
core
that's
to
a
your
whole
whole
other
niche.
topic. He's core, yeah, exactly. That's exactly
Milnar
the
and
point. That's why.
friends.
That's why I don't
Milnar
like
and
that.
Kuranta
Yeah,
Knights. You
I
mean
mean-
Milnar Knights?
Moina as a character, and I guess I'm also very caught up in the whole like Kezi lore in a sense, and like the surrounding stuff around that as well. When I think of like the leitmotifs of certain characters are like trying to represent that character, I feel like this song is actually perfect at representing who Moina is, because yes, like he is that like very disillusioned, very cynical kind of old guy that's just been working the 9-to-5 job for like years and years. And obviously, I don't know, are you guys caught up on like the lore of this stuff at all? Like, I don't mind if you're not, but it's just how much I should explain.
I am not, because I'm like
Yeah.
Milnar, and I work.
I don't think I
worked that
I don't
9 to
think
5
I've
job
read
for
everything.
years.
You are
Yeah.
yeah.
You know, it's worse. Is that's not even a 9 to 5. It's instead of 8 hours, it's 13 hours.
He has just been working this like job. I think he worked at like a construction company, like in admin for like a construction company or something like that, which, you know, I don't think that's like meaningful, but a lot of Winna's story is just about being completely disillusioned with the entire system of like Kazi, and like the night sports being like this horrible perversion of like what was the traditional stuff, which I think is awesome, by the way. But I like how this song is very kind of contrasting with the OST of Neolight. So I'm sure you guys know what Neolight's music is all about. It's heavy electronic. It's kind of dubsteppy if you want to go all the way back to Maria Nell. Really heavy stuff. But then there's 2 events that really stand out here, which is Moina's event and Pinus Sylvestris, which came before. And a lot of their music is very, I wouldn't call it subdued, but it's not electronic. That's for certain, if you heard either of it. Pinus Sylvestris is much more like rock-centric. I don't really know about this one, but it's definitely a completely different feel, and I think that contrast between Moina as that kind of character and someone like Null, who is in many ways a very naive character,
With the
and is
biggest
much more
pop
caught up.
song on the whole OST.
Do you want to tangent for a moment? I actually don't think Radiant is that good. Radiant is not a 6. I will just say that, and we can argue about that later. When it comes to Ensheath, I just love how much it like fits into this character, and I think the aesthetic of it is exactly what I would expect from a character like Moina. I wouldn't expect him to sing this, and I wouldn't expect him to like listen to this. I wouldn't expect him to listen to music at all, really. But when I
He's
think
not
of
listening
Moina,
to
this is the
anything that's
kind
not
of music.
classical. It's not Moinar.
Exactly. It's just kind of in the background, you know, like you guys were saying, he's just like sipping on his like on his drink while
Cognac.
he's reading something. Yeah, yeah. It's just like in like the limelight, basically. I love this song. It's on my rotation ever since it came out. I'm not giving it anything less than a 6.
Yes,
If I
sir.
could, I don't think it's more than like I don't think it's like my favorite thing ever. But just with how long I've been listening to it, how often I've just said, "Oh, I'm making a new playlist. I'm putting Ensheath onto it." I think it has to be a 6. There's like no way.
As it should be.
Nice.
Yeah, goodie.
Oh my god.
Is this
now
another
it's not me
sentence
throwing
again?
shots.
It's gonna be another sentence.
I hate how sentences
I'm
work
on.
still.
Congratulations,
no.
off you. You're not the highlight for this one.
We're always gonna have like a sentence song all the time, bro.
Yeah, it
like,
doesn't matter.
every
Like,
episode.
even if it's not like how it worked out,
Mhm.
it's always
Yeah.
going to get referred back to sentence. Don't worry, boys. Once you get to my age and figure out what Milnar's feeling, then you'll truly appreciate the song.
What do you think then when I was reading on when he's like just standing there on the battlefield? Do you think it's
probably a
different every
renegade.
time, or does it just like
yeah,
it's,
it's probably
the
Renegade.
latest
He's-
Kazimier's news.
He's,
It's like how I
he's
feel about
reading
in the
the lyrics
current.
to Renegade.
It's like how I'm reading the current political climate here in America. Look at the news. Oh, jeez, this is so stupid.
Let's move on to
Last
the
one?
last song of the playlist, Infected. Hit it, Zop. That is Infected, performed by Starset, composed by Dustin Bates and Johnny Lee Andrews. What a banger song, dude. I remember this was the song played during the second anniversary of Arknights.
I'll be frank with you guys. I didn't know this song existed until you guys told me about it when we were
no
preparing
way.
this. I didn't know this existed.
We aim to please. We aim to please.
I
Like
so
a
all of
discovery
the
outreach program.
but yeah, so everything I'm about to say is with like how many days, like a week, I guess, of listening to this. And I'll just be frank, I don't get it. I don't get this song. Like, it doesn't speak to me in many ways. Maybe part of it is that like this kind of genre of music is not something that I regularly listen to, so that's probably part of it. But then I was like, okay, maybe I'm just thinking about it the wrong way, right? So I had a read through of the lyrics, and I was like, what is this? Like, what is this trying to say? It's very literal. I could not find any like extra meaning in this beyond exactly what they are saying, which is very strange to me, because in a lot of the songs that we've listened to beforehand, there is a lot more of this like deeper meaning in it, where there are actually lyrics, but there has been a little bit more of a deeper meaning into it, partly because they are leitmotifs with Mortal Iron and Ensheath. Crystallize also, I had not been listening to that very long, so I kind of gave it a pass. But this song, yeah, I don't really get it too much.
I think I can explain that.
Maybe it was
once
a
you're
thing
done.
where it's like you had to be there, you know, because like maybe at the time it comes out, yeah, it's like fine, and you don't really, maybe it speaks to you a bit more. But I'm going to tentatively give it a 3. I would love to just sit here and ask you to change my mind about this if there's something like
well, pass on
particularly
the
interesting
rating
about
for
it.
now, then. All right, well, let me go, because so the reason why you don't understand, you live in Australia, right? So the reason why is because most the lyrics are centered around American culture, calling on the landlines, the senators are standing on the shorelines, so like our senators or whatever. There's a general distrust in America for politicians.
I really thought you were gonna say you live in Australia, right? It's just because you've been reading it upside down the entire time. I was like, okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah. So first
That's
you
all I
have
don't
to
get.
flip it up right side up. And then no, it's just purely a cultural thing if you like look into the lyrics.
Okay.
Generally, especially like when this was released, there was still the huge debacle of how the government kind of flopped in terms of handling the pandemic. 2020, 2021 was not exactly a very good time, especially in American politics. Everybody was tense. Even now, this year especially, everybody's still kind of tense. It hasn't really happened, and like something's gonna have to happen in America at some point. Who knows what that's gonna be, but it's not. This whole song was made during a time where everybody was just generally upset and distrustful for how everything had turned out. So like, for example, the preacher man is warning of the end times, that just like saying kind of like a biblical term where Revelation predicts the end of the world. And then the weatherman agrees, but he don't know. Well, maybe the weatherman is also part of that religion as well. So the whole song is just the general distrust towards how everything kind of is being ran, especially here in America. And it's funny too, because like one of these lyrics, and I'm glad that they had it on the wiki. One if by land and two if by sea. That is a reference to during the American Revolution, where Paul Revere, how he rode saying the British are coming, that sort of thing. And so it has historical reference behind it as well. So the reason why you don't understand it is because it's made by an American rock band, and it has a lot of American culture into it.
A lot of metal, a lot of rock. It tends to be on the vague side, like what I was like talking about earlier. They write it because it invokes like a powerful like emotion within you. It might not necessarily like fit the bill completely. This was written specifically for Arknights, and the part that you relate to it is probably, you know, infected with oranginium. There's no cure for it. That's probably as much as it gets, aside from like all the other political space within the world of Arknights. It kind of mirrors our own world.
I can definitely say I was coming at this from an Arknights perspective, but I didn't have any like other anchor to really understand this from. But yeah,
it's just a double whammy where if this is not the type of genre that you listen to, and because you're not living in the United States, especially during this time period, it's hard to connect them together. Like Hanyu was saying, a lot of songs are made to invoke an emotion, but those emotions come from experiences. And in this case, Starset definitely had an experience, which was in 2020 and 2021. So how like everybody was panicking and stuff like that, and nobody's like happy here in America. Surprise, surprise.
I need a drink after this.
Well,
It doesn't connect that deep, but it still connects, and like I just vibe with it. I mean, the song, I love the song, dude. This band just sang it so well. They played it so well. I just love this song, dude. You guys haven't given it a rating, right? I'll give it a 6. I'll go first. I'll give it a 6.
You already know what my score is going to be. It's going to be a 6. I love this genre. There might be a little bit of bias. I'll kind of go over why I like this song. So Starset, they add a little bit of extra instruments from a normal traditional like rock band. If I remember right, they typically have like some strings in there. You hear it in some of their other songs like Monster and Unbecoming. They have some strings in there, and I really like that when they mix like strings and rock. So it's not just like your typical electric guitar, bass, drums, and vocals. They are using like standard song structure, but that's kind of like standard amongst most songs in the rock and metal space. It's like intro, verse, chorus, post-chorus, verse, chorus, post-chorus, bridge, alt-chorus, then post-chorus. I know that was a mouthful, but they do use like vocal chops in the post-chorus, and I think that's what makes this song shine, along with like the crowd chant, the crowd shouts for Infected. Like whenever I'm in the car and I hear the song, it's a song that it makes me want to like karaoke to and like scream my lungs out, especially when it gets to like the infected part.
so in terms of context, I pretty much explained like how this is related to pandemic time, especially in America. So there's two things that this song has going for me. One, it's a rock song. Two, it's an American song.
Whoa,
and then 3,
America!
a freedom song. So, but just having that type of connection that I was explaining earlier, because it's related to me, makes it better. Like, oh, this is a song that, you know, like I can get down with. And so for me, it's also going to be a 6 as well.
then.
No, dude. I didn't hesitate on Ensheath.
Yeah, I mean, I can see how much I've like missed, I guess, when I've listened to this, and I can't
We're
say that it's
biased,
like
though.
grown on me that much. I can definitely appreciate it a bit more now, knowing that there is that kind of like context there. Is it something that I would listen to all the time? Not really. Maybe I just have to listen to it more. You know, maybe it's like Crystallize, where like in a week from now I'll be like, oh, I'm just like singing this to myself, and I'll just wonder how I got here. But maybe because like even though I don't listen to this kind of this genre of music, I have listened to a lot of things that are similar to this on occasion, and I don't hate them by any means. I said I was gonna give it a 3. I think I will give it a 4 just for the sake of like you've kind of sold me on it a little bit of like, yes, okay, there is a lot here that I
did my job.
But yeah. You upgraded it to a 4 successfully, and that'll be it from me, I guess.
I do want to comment though that this music video is really well done. This is a great music video.
So that's the entire playlist. I guess we move on to the community poll.
So we're gonna rush through this. So chat gave it a 4.5. So with all of our ratings, the average is a 5.10, which puts it at Undertide, Senor de Lupi.
What? 4.5 for the Rosmondes. Okay, next.
People like Shiroko better.
I love robbing banks too, Sensei. What?
Huh?
All right. So for Mortal Eye, let's see. Chat gave it a 5.38, and so our average is 5.28. Surging Tide. Chat actually gave it higher than we did. It's a 4.88. The average is 4.18.
What chat say about Ensheath?
They gave it a flat 5.
What?
Which is not bad.
See, it's not my fault. It's not my fault. It's not my fault. It's not my fault. You can't blame me on this.
So it averaged at a 5.6, which is on par with Sentenced.
It's
no sentence. Oh.
And then finally, to top it all off, is Infected. Chat gave this a 4.13, an average of 5.43, which puts it on Be Me.
Wait, Fake Waves actually beat something?
Oh, High Missile Strike. That's Chubai. That's Chubai team. It's the Chubai team.
I'll be honest with you. Fake Waves kind of grew on me.
Yeah, exactly. It grows on you the more you listen to
it.
It's made its way into my playlist algorithmically, which is a little concerning. But
no. Fake Waves. We talked about this. Fake Waves was so bad it became good. It's good because it's that bad.
It's so fun to sing.
Yeah.
The
But like
spectrum
the
of good and bad
Chubai
is
one
like a
is just
circle.
what? The Chubai one is just. Thank you so much for watching the 15th verse of the Terran Charts. I'm your host, Giddy. I'm here with Hanyu, Zop, and our special guest today, Eha. Thank you so much for joining us today, Eha. Yes, sir.
Problem.
Yep.
No problem.
All right, video editors, Mastima.mp4 and Stroomer. Graphics designer, Lazer. Tumble artist, Venobi. Community team, Lassault and Speedy. Special thanks to dokonjou, Fran, Nem, and Rumby. And to you guys in chat. And to anybody watching on our YouTube. Also, you should support us at Ko-Fi, by the way. I'll see you guys on our next one 2 weeks from now. Same time. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye-bye.
Bye,
Bye. Chat.
thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. I could eat a
Surprise,
horse.
horse wasn't mentioned.
It takes a surprising amount of restraint.